Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Destiny Moon Tarot, and welcome to yet another pick a card reading in my future spouse series. In today's reading, I'm going to be finding out how a tarot reader would describe you to your future spouse. So, just like how you are watching this future spouse series and hopefully enjoying it, I'm assuming that maybe your future spouse is also watching a future spouse reading and trying to find out what you are like through a tarot reader. So, yeah, we're gonna find out today what a tarot reader would tell your future spouse about you, how they would describe you. I have tried to get as many details as I possibly could today, even though this reading is going to be short, sweet, and simple because I am filming quite late at night and I really wanted to film this video for you guys, but I'm also experimenting with the audio and the lighting as well. So, yeah, I just wanted this video to be quick, simple, easy. And yeah, experimental I guess. So yeah, without any further ado, let me introduce you to today's groups for you to pick from. We have group number 1 with the lapis lazuli heart crystal, we have group number 2 with the opalite heart crystal, and we have group number 3 with the rose quartz heart crystal. As always, you can take as much time as you need, pause this video if you'd like to pick either one or multiple of these groups intuitively. And once you have made your decision, you can find the timestamps that correlate to your group's reading in the description box below as well as in the pinned comments. And I will see you all in your reading. Hi, group 1. Welcome to your reading. You guys chose the lapis lazuli heart crystal. So let's find out how a tarot reader would describe you to your future spouse. I have all of your cards pre shuffled right here, so I'm gonna quickly begin with getting all of your cards out. So, first up, we have spiritual maturity, we have self care, autumn, surrender, we have the Empress, we have the Three of Pentacles, as well as the Nine of Swords. Okay. I just got a very funny message with both of these cards together. So maybe I will start with that. Okay, so group number 1, I feel like a tarot reader would tell your future spouse that you are probably someone who gets a little bit of anxiety when they are in crowded places or when they have to talk to too many people. Maybe that's because you're an introvert, or maybe you have social anxiety, or maybe you're just the kind of person who prefers to work on your own. Maybe you do have a job where you get to pretty much work just for yourself and do pretty much everything on your own, and you don't really have to depend on too many people, you don't have to coordinate with too many people. Yeah, and like maybe teamwork isn't really something that's required in the job that you do. But if it is, I feel like your future spouse would be getting a reading from a tarot reader that somewhat says that, you know, you are a bit of an introvert and that you sometimes get anxious, especially if you're around people that you don't really get along with, that you don't vibe with. Maybe you are someone who's very selective as a person when it comes to who you hang out with or who you share information about your life with. So yeah, when too many people know what's your business and like what's going on in your life, then that might cause some sort of anxiety to you, and you don't really like doing that. So that's a message that a tarot reader could be giving your future spouse about you. But on the other hand, I think they would be saying that this happens because you are a very spiritually mature person. You're someone who has evolved a lot, you've done a lot of inner work. You're someone who is very open to coexisting with people who have different ideas as to yours, different beliefs as yours, and you are very inclusive. You are someone who just wouldn't discriminate um, against someone based on their religious belief or their race or their background. And um you might be an empath as well, is something that a tarot reader would say about you to your future spouse. And yeah, just someone who has a very awakened third eye chakra, crown chakra. So someone who is very intuitive, someone who is very um connected to source, and it almost feels like you are a very pure soul. And like I said, you might be an empath, and that is probably one of the reasons why it's easy for you to get anxious when you see someone else being treated badly, or when people aren't getting along with each other, then that is something that is quite worrisome for you. Or when there's a war or a conflict that breaks out, that really affects you. Other people not having enough affects you. Um or like, yeah, just picking up on too much energy from too many people could really overwhelm you. Yeah, that is also something that your future spouse could be told by a tarot reader. But yeah, and that's all because you are someone who's very spiritually mature, and maybe picking up on too many people's energies might get too overwhelming for you. Yeah, and you definitely are someone who is very warm. You feel like in autumn, you're a very warm, very cozy person. It's very easy for you to make friends. It's very easy for people to like you. It's very easy for people to get along with you. You make other people feel very comfortable. You have a very nurturing, giving kind of energy. You might be a really good mother if that is something that both of you would want in the future. Or like, you are just someone who's very abundant, someone who's very beautiful, someone who's very nurturing, someone who has very motherly qualities. And yeah, someone who's very warm, someone who's very cozy. Yeah, you might be someone who gives really good hugs. You are also probably someone who really likes cuddling. And autumn might be your favorite month, favorite season. And you are someone who just um is on a spiritual path. Like, you're a very spiritual person, so much so that it's very easy for you to surrender to the divine. I don't think you are someone who um finds it very difficult to um give in to a higher power, or like surrender to a higher power, surrender to destiny, surrender to divine timing. I feel like you are someone who, even though you do get quite anxious, it is very easy, or maybe it um because of how spiritually mature you are, it's like you have the tools that is required for someone to surrender to a higher power. Okay, so even if you're feeling quite overwhelmed, quite worked up, you are someone who prioritizes self-care during that period of time, or just prioritizes self-care in general. And because of that, you're able to surrender. um it might take you a couple of days or like a couple of hours to pull yourself together, but you definitely do that because you are someone who's very strong. You're someone who's strong but can also be very gentle, is something that a tarot reader would tell your future spouse about you. Um, we also have a feeling here that um, a tarot reader would tell your future spouse that if they were to make a move on you, they should be quick to doing that, because you are someone who's very attractive, you're someone who's very good looking, very beautiful, very abundant. And that could also mean that there are a lot of people who would want to be with you. So if they lose their chance, then they might you know if they procrastinate, then they might lose a chance to be with someone like you, and they really shouldn't pass up on that opportunity. So they should act quickly towards you, or just, take action towards you, or make the first move. That would be advised to your future spouse by a tarot reader. Mm, I feel like they would also be told that you are someone who um, has a very good support system, in the sense that you are someone who just, maybe you have a small friend circle, or just a very small group of inner circle. Like your inner circle might be really small, but you are someone who believes in quality over quantity. um so yeah, I mean, they might be told that, you might have just one or two friends, and you might be close only to maybe your family members, or one or two members of your family only. And you are someone who's very highly protective of your own energy. Yeah. um yeah. I'm also picking up on the fact that um a tarot reader might tell your future spouse that you have really nice hair, or that you smell like flowers, or you smell very clean, very fresh, or that you have very beautiful eyes. They might tell them that you dress in a very feminine way. Um, Maybe you prefer wearing dresses, or just like flowy things. Um, yeah, that are just very feminine. Yeah. Yeah. They might also say that your favorite flowers are either tulips or roses. Um, and did I say that you have very beautiful hair? Yeah, that's definitely something that I'm picking up on. Your hair is very beautiful. I mean, you just in general are beautiful, group number one, but I feel like, yeah, specifically, I think a tarot reader would tell your future spouse that you have really beautiful eyes and beautiful hair. You might have a name that is the name of a flower, so like lily, rose, um, or maybe your name means flower, or flower garland, flower crown, something of that sort. Um, yeah, I feel like a tarot reader would also tell your future spouse that you have a very calming energy, a very soothing energy. Um, yeah, maybe you're also very soft spoken. Maybe you have a beautiful voice. It's a very feminine, sweet voice. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I can see for you guys, group number one. I think I'm gonna end your reading on this note. I hope you enjoyed this quick, short, sweet, simple reading. Let me know in the comments what you thought about it. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Leave me a nice comment, subscribe to my channel for more readings from me, and hopefully I will see you all in my next one. Bye guys. Hi, group 2. You guys chose the opalite heart crystal. So let's find out how a tarot reader would describe you to your future spouse. If your future spouse were to go to a tarot reader, how would they describe you? So, first up, we have boundaries, we have Isis with strength, we have winter, we have ideation, we have the emperor. Group number one got the Empress, and you got the Emperor. Then we have the Nine of Wands, and we have the Seven of Cups. Okay, I mean, quite um, obviously, a message that's popping out to me is that a tarot reader would tell your future spouse that you are someone who's a bit stoic, someone who sees the world as very black and white, someone who is very quick at making up their mind, someone very intelligent, someone very practical, um, a good leader, someone who other people look up to, and someone who's very impressive, someone whose achievements are very impressive, someone who's very inspirational, someone who's very hardworking, um, someone who's very strong physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, financially. Okay. Yeah, someone who's very strong, someone who is kind of like a light in a room of darkness. Like you light up the room when you walk into a room. Like when you walk into a room, you have this air of confidence that commands respect, that um, makes everyone look at you and pay attention to you. And yeah, you are a bit of a head turner. Yes, just your energy, just the way that you carry yourself. There's a lot of poise, that's a lot of grace, and there's a lot of confidence with which you carry yourself. Yep. Um, you are also someone who um, you like variety in life. Okay, so you might be someone who likes to be given options. You like choosing from a couple of things, and you take your choices very seriously. You think them through. You're not an impulsive person at all. You are someone who's very determined, very hardworking. You are someone who makes a pros and cons list for every little thing. You don't do anything frivolously, impulsively. Um, yeah, you're someone who's very mature. You're someone who is, um, yeah, quite stoic, is the energy that I'm picking up on. Um, Yeah, I feel like they would also say that you have very expensive taste. So maybe you are a bit high maintenance, but that's only because you are yourself able to maintain yourself, and you have very high standards, and you don't ask for anything that you don't already bring to the table yourself. Um, so yeah, you're someone who has very high standards, and rightfully so. It's justifiable because you also bring a lot to the table, for sure. Group number two, I feel like you're also someone who sets very clear boundaries. So you're really good at communication, and you're someone who honors your own boundaries and that of others. And if anyone disrespects your boundaries, then you just will not stand for that. You will not be okay with that at all. And yeah, that's a big red flag. Someone disrespecting your boundaries, or just um take advantage of your boundaries, or push your boundaries, or just like try to test you and see how flexible your boundaries are. You just are very quick to cut someone like that off. And that could be because you've had a difficult past. Maybe you've experienced some heartbreak, some betrayal, some backstabbing. You've experienced people taking advantage of you, and that's why your guard is a little bit up. And you are someone who holds your heart, you hold your resources, you hold your energy very very close to your hearts. You hold your cards very close to your heart. You don't open up very easily, but once you do, people realize how um tender and loving you are. Yeah, how comforting you are, how strong you are, and why you've had to be that strong. And it almost feels like, you may come across as someone who's a bit cold hearted, and has boundaries, and is just someone who um is a bit rough around the edges. But once someone breaks that wall down and earns your trust, then they see a different side to you. They see a side to you that is very tender, very loving, very caring. um, you're also someone who's very creative. um, So yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like your achievements are something that really speak for themselves. And yeah, I feel like a tarot reader would tell your future spouse that you're a bit of a workaholic as well. Like, you just focus so much on the work that you do, the quality of the work that you do, in every aspect of your life, not just professionally, but like even if you take up a DIY project, you will give it your 100%. If you commit to a person, you are going to commit to them 100%, even if it takes you an initial period to warm up to them or to open up to them. Once someone is a part of your inner circle, then you do really care about them and you are able to express yourself and, you know, bring your walls down. You still have your boundaries, but the gates to your heart are open once someone earns your trust. So it's not like you will forever be someone who expects other people to stay out and watch you from the outsides or watch you from the bylines. No, you do welcome people into your life, but only once they have earned your trust. Yeah. Um, so yeah, and an advice a tarot reader would be giving your future spouse is to really take things slow with you, to not rush you into anything, and to not take your stoicism as you being disinterested in them. It's just something that they have to work towards. They have to work towards earning your trust. They have to work towards proving themselves and their worth to you, proving their loyalty, proving their stability, proving their dependability, proving their trustworthiness to you is something that they will have to work on if they want to be a part of your life. So, yeah, being a part of your inner circle takes time, takes energy, but is totally worth it. Um, yeah, that's what I can see here. They might tell your future spouse that you are someone who has very sharp features. So you might have a very sharp nose, you might have a very strong jawline, a sharp jawline, very um like soul piercing eyes. You're someone who likes to maintain eye contact because you are someone who believes that someone's eyes are truly the window to their soul. So, yeah, you believe in looking into people's eyes when you're talking to them. You're someone who likes firm handshakes and, yeah, like a polished look. Um, so yeah, I feel like they would a tarot reader would tell your future spouse that you are someone who dresses very sharply, wears very well fitted clothes, um, maybe puts on very minimal makeup, that's to the point, nothing out of the box, nothing out of the ordinary. You like monotoned clothes, so like, an all black or an all blue outfit. Solid colors are what you like. um yeah, so like, if you're wearing a camel colored suit, then it's all gonna be camel, right? Like, yeah, like solid colored suits. You're not gonna rock up in a neon green suit ever. Yeah, you're that kind of a person, and that's also the kind of people that you like. Yeah. Although with the Seven of Cups, maybe what you like is variety. Maybe like what you like is other seeing other people express themselves through fashion, experiment with colors, experiment with um you know maybe um experiment with, oh god, why am I drawing a blank? It's just at the tip of my tongue, the word that I'm looking for. mm, Experiment with trends, experiment with food. Yeah, maybe that's something that they like to do. um or like, yeah, that you are just very open to seeing other people work in non-conventional jobs. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah. So even though you may have a very conventional job, maybe you do look up to people who do something very different. Like you look up, or you are interested in people who do something offbeat, something that isn't very mainstream. Like you find that very fascinating. So even though you might have a very box standard, socially acceptable job, socially respectable job, you are someone who's very open to talking to people who have a different job than yours, and you take a lot of interest in what goes on in a different industry to yours. So say that you are a business owner, but you take a lot of interest in the world of YouTube. Maybe you find it very fascinating that people can now make money through YouTube, or people can now make money through palm readings or tarot readings. And you take a lot of interest in meeting diverse people, and you ask them important questions, you make them feel very seen and heard. And even though you are someone who has a really good status in society, you don't look down upon people who probably don't have the same status or probably don't enjoy the same privileges as you do. So yeah, you might be someone very high up, but that doesn't mean that you are arrogant or egoistic at all. Yeah, that's how a tarot reader would describe you to your future spouse, group number two. I think I'm going to end your reading on that note. I hope you've enjoyed today's reading. I know it was very short, sweet, simple. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Comment below in the comment section letting me know what you thought about this reading. Subscribe to my channel for more readings from me, and I hope to see you all in my next one. Bye, guys. Hi, group three. You guys chose the rose quartz heart crystal. So, welcome to your reading. Let's find out how a tarot reader would describe you to your future spouse. If your future spouse were to go to a tarot reader, how would they describe you? So, first up, we have compatibility. We're off to a great start with that card. Next up, we have transcendence. I'm trying to move the cards in a way that you can actually see them. Next up, we have whimsy. We have abundance. We have the King of Swords, the Knight of Cups, as well as Three of Cups. Okay. A tarot reader would describe you as someone who is very bubbly, very sweet, very um, high on life, someone who um, is just a free spirit. Yeah, someone who's very whimsical, someone who has a little bit of a far off, dreamy look in their eyes, someone who believes in fairy tales, believes in love, is someone who's very romantic, wears their heart on their sleeve, someone who smiles a lot, laughs a lot, likes to smile a lot, likes to laugh a lot, likes to hang out with their friends and have a good time. Likes to maybe party, drink, indulge in the finer things in life every now and then. You could be someone who is quite privileged. You come from abundance. You are quite abundant in more ways than one. Maybe you are someone who's very good looking. Maybe you are very high vibe. You have a very loving energy to you. Um, I'm picking up on like very feminine energy, like a very bubbly, soft, gentle, free spirited, feminine energy. Yeah. So, that's how a tarot reader would describe you to your future spouse. I feel like they would say that you are someone who probably enjoys rom-coms, reading books and stories about love. You like listening to music, you like dancing, You believe in love. You have hope that you will find a love like ones in the movies and books someday soon. So yeah, you are a bit of a dreamer. You are someone who um yeah, maybe has um a very dreamy perspective on life. Maybe you have grown up in a very privileged, very safe, secure, sheltered environment where you didn't have to go through too many hardships, you didn't have to face a lot of struggles. Maybe you had a very comfortable childhood. You lived a very comfortable, abundant, privileged life, and that reflects in your energy. Yeah, you believe that life can be simple and easy and fun and abundant. Yes. Um and at the same time, you are someone who's deeply intelligent. You're not oblivious to the fact that there is struggle, there is sadness, there is sorrow, there is pain in the world as well. You're not oblivious to the fact that you just got lucky. Because of the privilege that you have been born into or been blessed with or have right now. Yeah, you do know that there are people out there who are struggling to make ends meet, and not everyone's as lucky as you, but you are someone who recognizes that and acknowledges your own privilege and is very grateful for the abundance and the blessings that you have in your life. Yeah, so it's not like you're tone deaf, it's not like you are immature or anything. It's just that you like to enjoy the life that you have been given, even though you do understand that there are people out there who have it much worse than you, have much less than you, and um you do like to give back in whatever way possible. You either pray for them, or you do charity work, or you know you like to create awareness about something. So you are someone who's very intelligent, you're well read. It's not like you are completely cut off from the real world so to say. But yeah, you just energy wise are someone who is a glass half full kind of a person, and you're very optimistic. And yeah, that's just like fun bubbly energy that like rubs off on people around you as well. Your optimism, your positivity is something that people really enjoy about you, and that is why it's very easy for you to make friends. That is why you're quite popular. That is why maybe people like to hang out with you. You're not like a dramatic person at all. You're not someone who likes to stir the pot to start drama. You just truly believe that people can get along with each other really well, and that you know your vibe attracts your tribe. And because you are a high vibe person, you also have people around you that genuinely love you and care about you and like to hang out with you and have fun with you. So yeah, maybe there's very less or no drama in your life at all, because you have people around you that are quite like like minded. And maybe your future spouse is also like that, and they're definitely a tarot reader would definitely tell your future spouse that you and them would be very compatible because you're very similar. So there's also a possibility that both of you mirror each other. This could be a twin flame connection, where you mirror each other's energies and you are just very highly compatible with each other. How you are is also how they are like. So maybe you're like the male or the female version of each other. Yeah, that's how a tarot reader would describe you to your future spouse. With transcendence, something that I can see is that um like I think what a tarot reader would tell your future spouse is that even though you initially come off as someone who's very light and bubbly and free spirited. You are someone who has layers, okay? You're very deep, you're very intelligent. You are someone who can talk about ice cream, but you're also someone who can talk about God. You're someone who can talk about death. You're someone who talks about aliens. You're someone who talks about the deeper things in life. Like, you sit and contemplate about what life is and what is the purpose of life and why are we here. And you might have a very interesting and a very spiritual idea behind your values and your principles. Like, I think um, the way that you think is very deep. It's very spiritual. It almost feels like, you come across as someone who's a bit of a recluse, but you are someone who's very deep. You're very mature, and you know what you're talking about. And it almost feels like you are an old soul. You have these very big ideas. You have these very noble ideas about life, about people, about psychology, about spirituality. Yeah, you're someone who's very deep. So, you are the kind of person who someone can just like go to a concert and like enjoy dancing with. But you're also the same person who can, sit on the couch and like talk to someone for hours about deep things, about meaningful things. Yeah, and like that could happen in like a matter of minutes. Like, your conversation could literally go from talking about your favorite Taylor Swift song to, talking about feminism and talking about what the world needs right now in terms of practical steps that it can take to better the lives of humans. And like, and like thinking about the future, thinking about technology that can benefit you all, like just the collective in general. And like, yeah, so yeah, you are someone who is a bit of a um you know a surprise package. You seem like one thing, and you are that thing, but you're so much more than that as well. And it's very surprising, I think. The more someone gets to know you, the more they get surprised by how deep and intelligent and, mature you are, how wise you are, how knowledgeable you are. Yeah. Mm. A tarot reader might also tell your future spouse that you are someone who is always working on yourself, who's trying to be better and do better, be the bigger person, be the better person. You are someone who probably enjoys meditation or, some sort of religious practices, or you like to journal, you like to read self help books, you like to listen to podcasts that can help you grow and develop as a person. Or you are someone who's always looking for ways to grow and evolve, not just as a person, but maybe also uh, um, i- in the sense of like your skills. Like, you're always working on building your skills, but you don't like give yourself a very hard time about it. Like, you're not a workaholic, you're not like super hard on yourself, like, oh, I must achieve all of these things by this time. Like, you're not that kind of a person. You're just someone who is able to enjoy life, who is able to work and like do the mundane everyday activities. But you're also someone who believes that, there can be more to life, and life is meant to be enjoyed fully and completely. So yeah, yeah, that's the reading that I have for you guys. Group number 3. Let me know in the comments if this tarot reader would be right in describing you this way to your future spouse. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed yet. It's free of cost and it helps me grow as a creator here on YouTube. And hopefully, I will see you all in my next one. Bye, guys.